Hi, this is Robert Vitelli with the Golf Business Accelerator, and I'm with one of our members and clients, Ben Galli, PGA Golf Teaching Pro, that we're doing a case study with, as well as giving you some success tips, marketing and sales and business growth tips as well during this case study to give you some really good value and some distinctions that'll help your golf business. And it's interesting because not only do we have golf pros and teachers now, but we're seeing golf biomechanics and physiotherapists and chiropractors and mental training coaches and psychologists and other people with support industries or support services in the golf industry starting to work our program just as successfully now because the business principles are universal. And we're going to share a couple of those major distinctions with you during this case study. But Ben now has actually been in the Accelerator program just about 10 weeks now.
Yeah. Yep.
About 10 weeks. And, one of the things that, I always wanted to do is give credibility and, why should you listen to us, or why should you listen to this and take, whatever, 10, 15 minutes out of your day, you're busy. But let me tell you why, and let's kind of share what's happened, for you during your first 10 weeks now, Ben, in the Accelerator program, and what's it meant for you, as well as what's it done for your business financially.
Well, in the winter, because I'm from New Zealand, what happens is I'm always looking to do bigger and better things, and I wasn't really sure where I was at. I was sort of treading water, and I thought, right, I need to do something. I saw Robert's post. I made the effort to connect with him, and it's really been successful. Probably the best thing I've ever done in regards to getting my business and financially really, really running, and I'm now lucky enough to teach a lot more students. And obviously financially it's been amazing. Some sort of numbers, I know we always want numbers to see how good it could be. But in the last 10 weeks I've made just as much money as I did last year. Okay, so put that in perspective. In the first 8 weeks in the program, using Robert's tips, I got up to $83,000 worth of sales. So for any golf teacher out there, I'm pretty sure that would be what you want as well. So really excited about the future. Obviously now I can do other things. Really makes me a better coach as well, because I believe in what I'm doing as well. So I think that was one of the biggest things for me, getting that belief up, and with what we've talked about, and as I say, we just started, onwards and upwards.
That's great. It's interesting because Ben is somebody who actually took, the distinctions and the methods and the actual system. It's taken several years to create the system, for golf teachers, for golf specialists, for golf industry specialists, especially in a very unique and, eclectic sport and service industry in many ways. But he's really followed, the program and the advice and the system to a T. And that's pretty amazing. I know our goal in his first 90 days is going to be to break $100,000 of income.
We'll do that
easily, I'm sure. And we're in Vegas right now. He came to visit here in Las Vegas with some friends of his and his wife, so it's been fun to meet people, face to face as much as we can, which is rare. And to break six figures. And what's phenomenal about this is, and yes, it's about the money, and no, it's not about the money, because now you're serving more students, making a bigger difference in more students' lives. You're growing the sport exponentially to bring new golfers into the sport, but also to excite and have golfers have more fun and get better. So it's not just about the money, because I think most golf teachers I talk to, they're not in it for the money. They're in it because we love the sport, we love the game, and I think that's all fine and dandy. But first of all, we want to live a prosperous life. How can we take care of our family unless we have the business model or the business skills? So it's about both. It's about making a difference in other people's lives in the game, growing the sport of golf, and prospering, abundantly.
You're probably going to prosper more, aren't you? You're going to push it more if you're getting looked after as well.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be a grumpy golf pro.
You're right. You're in a much better mood when you're prosperous, that's for sure. So it's been phenomenal. And, we've really been breaking actually industry records, through the history and the sport of golf. We've actually been breaking income records for golf teachers globally because of the program, and growing the sport of golf faster, than anything else other than probably the PGA TV media, which is exciting to grow the sport, as well as make a big difference in in other students' lives and more golf students' lives. So let's talk about some, success tips, because I know the viewers are saying, hey, that's awesome. It's amazing, great income, you guys. What about me? What can help me? So, a couple of the principles that we want to talk about, for any golf business, doesn't matter if they're a chiropractor or a mental training coach or a golf teacher, is leads. New client to new student leads is really the lifeblood, of your business, of any business's, heartbeat and success. And what's interesting is most golf teachers kind of fall into a very, I call it a wonky mindset or a business paradigm, because they don't realize that we're entrepreneurs. As a golf teacher, you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, but you might be working with a golf course or a country club or a municipal golf course. It doesn't matter. So they kind of fall in line of, maybe I'm working for someone, but I kind of own my own business and my income is my own. So the business mindset is, number one, is having the right business paradigm. Hey, you own your own business. Whether you work with a golf course or you work with your own golf academy and you've got 10 instructors working for you, or you're a one-man, one-woman show, that mindset and that business paradigm is that you have to take ownership and responsibility, right? Number one. And lead generation is the number one thing that, we have to be responsible for. Because even if we don't have good communication skills and we're horrible at talking to people, and hopefully most golf teachers are not horrible at talking to people, is that, by just default, when I talk to most golf teachers, I say, how many new student leads did you generate? Or new patient leads if they're in a physio or a chiropractic industry. They said, well, I've gotten 3 referrals, or I've gotten, 2 or 3 leads this week from whatever, some kind of newspaper, magazine ad, which rarely work anyway. And I said, you can't grow your business on that. And getting referrals is not a business model. Getting referrals is not a way to scale and grow your business. It's icing on the cake bonus. If you're doing a good service, if you're doing a good job, we're naturally going to get referrals, but it's not something that we can control. So having lead generation methods and systems in place has to happen in order to have a secure income, number one, and to scale and grow the business, number two. Because if now, like most golf teachers that are working our program, are generating anywhere between 15 and 35 new student leads a week. On average. That's just average. And if you have that many student leads coming in, you realize just by default you're going to get a handful of people that say yes. Even if you were horrible at sales skills, we don't have to be some used car salesperson. So lead generation is your first priority, I think.
I agree. So sometimes I think with the leads as well, a lot of the time, once you get them, it's making sure that you can get them over the line and get them wanting to be part of your golf team or your golf group. So with the lead generations that we and it's discussed in the program, it's actually quite simple. You've got to give a little to get a lot. I think that's the key with it.
And there's a number of free lead strategies that we teach that are absolutely free if you're on a tight budget. But even if you're on a tight budget and you have 10, 15 plus more leads coming in every week.
We're even connecting with your golf members, and now not doing it like a generic way, doing it a proper way too, and getting the ones that actually want to learn, I think is quite important. And getting new ones from out of town or different golf clubs, or surrounding golf clubs too, if they don't have that bigger pro, or they might be sick of their pro. Just getting them in the door and making sure that you can tell them what you can deliver. And from my perspective, the most important thing was obviously getting the leads, but the conversion rate.
Let's talk about that for a second. Conversion rate. He's using the words that we use, conversion rate. That means, of course, if that's new to some folks, is how many people actually say yes and give you a credit card or give you their checkbook or check and say, yes, let's go ahead and get those packages, or get that package or whatever. We've got some custom made packages that we've created and tested over the years that, first of all, get people to say yes faster. Right? It's an easier yes, and it's also more money in your pocket as the business owner, as the golf teacher, which is number two. So that conversion, and we'll share this with people, we can't give them everything, but we actually have a script. We actually have a step-by-step sequence. Now, it doesn't have to be used word for word.
No.
But it is an exact sequence of step-by-step, just like a golf swing. If one part of that swing sequences out, it's going out to the woods, right? So that sequence has to be in order for that.
And you got to get good at it.
Yeah.
You get given it and you think, oh, okay, is it this simple? Now, once you get good at it, and I think the success of my business is, I think I've got about 95% success rate. I think I've only had about 1 or 2.
95% people saying yes and enrolling into one of his packages.
Which is a pretty ridiculous number because surely some people are going to say no, but it just seems like once you get them there, they're ready to learn. You're getting the people that want to learn as well. I think sometimes what we do as golf pros is we generically try and get everyone. Okay, oh look, I'll pull everyone together. But it's getting actually the people that want to learn and they're ready to learn. Now, when you do our leads and once we've defined it with Robert, you'll find that the leads actually give you the ones that want to learn as well. So it makes it a lot more successful that way, I think, because they're the ones coming and the other ones are sitting on the fence and wondering if they should come. Now, if their mate down the road does quite well, then they'll probably jump on board because they don't want to miss out. So that's how you get the momentum. And
we call it better quality of leads because we don't have to be a used car salesperson and be pushy, trying to convince somebody. It's it's almost like a pre-selection of the right quality leads coming in.
And I think that's an important thing because I think one of the things is, as a golf pro, you don't want to be pushy, because you know that that's one of the things that maybe you're scared of with things like that. It's absolutely not like that at all. So getting the leads and getting them over the line, it's actually quite a nice experience. They don't feel like they're pushed. They're making the decisions, and you're just making sure that they're getting what they want out of it, and they're having a good time.
So let's talk about the enrollment process because we can't share everything obviously in the short case study, but we'd like to give them some more value. A big part of this process is, I think every golf teacher, if they're ethical, they love making a difference for a student. They want to help a student get better with their golf game. But what's interesting about our approach in enrollment is we realize sometimes it's more than just about golf.
Sure.
It really is. Sometimes it's about friendship. Sometimes, it's about ego, or sometimes it's about other motivations of
spending time with their partner. Right?
Yeah, spending time with their partner or their spouse or their husband or their wife, and all these other motivations. You need to take that into account in the enrollment process. Is that there's other motivations there, but every golf teacher that I see is out there on the range trying to impress them with how good of a golf teacher they are, or trying to help them fix their swing and get them to do this. It's not just about their golf game.
No.
It's and one of the principles that I teach is about making a difference in their life. It's about making a difference because they're a person first.
Yeah.
They're a golf student and a golf enthusiast or whatever, but they're a person first. And I don't know about you, but as my client and working with me, I want to make a difference in your life.
Sure.
Not just make you more money, but any way that I can serve you, make a difference in your life, I'm going to do it. So we have to realize there's a holistic picture here, a bigger picture here of making a difference for people. And that's really, important part of the actual process is having the actual whole person, come in mind to talk to, during this enrollment sequence. So that's kind of one little tip, distinction to be aware of and to maybe incorporate into your conversations.
Yeah, I agree.
With your people. And it might sound common sense, but you'd be surprised. I listen to golf teachers trying to enroll people all the time. And they're doing it wrong because they're trying to just fix the golf swing.
Well, they're not listening.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the difference. So if you actually ask the right questions, you get the right answers. Now, if you've already got something in your mind, it's like when you have a handshake with someone, you're thinking about talking to them, you forget their name straight away. So when we're talking about working out what they actually want, ask, listen, and see what they say. And they don't really care if their golf swing gets better. They want to make sure that they're comfortable with their game. Maybe you're thinking about they need to change their golf swing, but they can't putt. Well, go there first. Like, you've just got to listen to the student, and what you'll find is they will get better very quickly because anyone that's over a 15 handicapper, it's not that hard to make better if you're actually asking the right questions and you're getting them pretty focused and motivated to improve. And they'll let you know why they want to improve, and it's a very easy transition, I think.
It's true. It's funny. Somebody says, I heard that one saying that, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so that we could listen twice as much as we talk.
I haven't heard that.
Isn't it true?
Yeah,
right?
Maybe 2 mouths.
Right, exactly. And what's amazing, about that approach is as we listen to people, if we really listen, if we're present and we're really listening to people, most golf teachers have an evaluation form, that, hey, where your handicap is at, do you have any physical injuries and things like that. But there's more to the evaluation. There's more to the listening process and to the enrollment process, and a lot more actually as we teach. And what I can share with people, and to the golf teachers and physical therapists and the other golf businesses, is that most people don't listen.
Yeah.
Most people that I talk to, business owners, golf teachers, chiropractors, they're getting the basic information, but they're not really listening to the deeper needs. Because you know what? We've all bought things that we can't afford, right? People are moved emotionally. People are moved by feelings. People are moved, by passion and by excitement and by curiosity and interest. And when you're feeling curious and you're feeling intrigued and you're drawn into whatever it might be, it's based on feelings, it's based on emotions, not just mental stuff. It's got to be something in the body where they're feeling it. And this gets into, we talk about the why, people's why, and this has been big in the media, and Simon Sinek and his leadership and other motivational, leaders and teachers, is what is the why? Well, the why is, for my business, my purpose in life is to, inspire and empower people to greater levels of freedom and happiness. I do that, in the golf industry and many other industries as well, but that's when I'm doing my why. I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm fulfilled. So when we could find out more of your clients and your students' why.
Yeah, and it's surprising. It's surprising what the why is. So, for example, a lady last week I said, why do we want to get better? What are we doing it for? She goes, well, my grandkids are getting into golf and my husband plays and I feel like I'm missing out. So she's doing it not to be great at golf, but she wants to be part of the family. She wants to be part of the experience. And then I might get another lady come in and her husband's pretty avid golfer and she wants to go on golf trips with her friends and they're all golfers. And again, if she doesn't want to sit by the pool or whatever it's going to be. Then you've got others that, you ask them what their handicap and they'll be like 20, and they're sort of half embarrassed about their handicap. And most of the time they're embarrassed because they know they're better than that. Mm-hmm. So the hard thing with golfers is, the first thing they get asked is what's your handicap, and that sort of sets the tone. It's like someone asking you how much money you got. It's a weird thing to ask. And people, especially successful people, they don't want to be then unsuccessful on the golf course. So that's sometimes their why. They want to feel like they're good enough. Mm-hmm. Now that's a hard one because a lot of the time they're already good enough. But the why is really important, and it's quite different the answers you get, and a lot of the time it's managing that answer to actually then decide what program or how we're going to do this. And it's not just a generic thing. You'll be like, right, you need to get your short game better, let's just push that area. Or is it swing, or is it what is it, do you need to be motivated? But usually a deep-seated thing of something to do with family a lot of the time, and their self-esteem or their self-image with their golf. I think they're the two main contributing factors.
And what's important about this is never assume that we know why. Regardless of how expert we might think that we are, and never assume anything. Just ask. Because what's interesting about it is if we really ask an individual what, and find out and dig a little bit, and really are sincerely curious because we care about them, we find out their why, then we have the ability to really ethically care about them, to fulfill their why, to give them their real needs, as well as enroll them faster and easier. Because now, instead of just trying to impress them with what a good golf teacher or how fast they can fix their golf swing, you're fulfilling their why on the driving range or in the golf simulator or on the on-playing course lesson. You're actually fulfilling their why once you find out might be a whole heck of a lot more than straightening out a slice or a hook or hitting the ball.
It's probably never that.
Right, it's not really, but it's deeper. So we're not.
It's like when you go to the gym. When you've got a why and you're like, right, I'm unhappy with this, or I want to get fitter. Sign me up. There's a big why there. Now that might not carry over forever, but they've got that why, and I think it's really important. You get the why when they really want it. You're ready to motivate them and get them into it. And yes, they want to stop the slice because they think it's a handicap thing, but a lot of the time, they'll be like, I really just want to stop being nervous when there's out of bounds right. And then you go, okay, is that a setup thing? Is it going to be a path thing? Is it a swing thing? That's what they don't like, about golf. And we all know what that sort of feels like. You stand up there and you're like, oh, I have to tee off here.
Yep. Exactly.
So they want to either eliminate.
It's emotional.
Yeah, always eliminate bad
Mm-hmm.
or promote good. You know, it's always one or the other. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's surprising. So you'll never really know until you ask. Yes, you might have 50, 60, 70% of people saying the same thing, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to say the same thing.
Not at all. And everybody's individual. Everybody has different reasons and motivations, and a different why to a degree, if you find out and you really take time to ask. Then, after you have that process down, and this can take all of just a few minutes, then you have to have something to put them into that you, as a business owner, makes you more money.
Cool.
We call that the power of packaging. You know, and having very unique, I call it sexy, attractive, different packages instead of the typical 5-pack or the 10-pack or whatever else it might be, or throwing people into all privates when a semi-private, you know, along with some privates, would make you 4 to 5 times more money. Instead of making $150 an hour or 100, you can make $500, $600, $700 an hour. And some of these other package ideas that we have that are what we call big ticket golf packages is what we really specialize in as well, with golf lessons. And some other people are doing golf travel vacation things or physical therapy and other types of packaging combinations that are unique and original. And more importantly, as a business owner, it makes you a lot more net profit. As you know, as a business owner. So those are some of the tips that we wanted to share. We're gonna, you know, wrap up this case study here, so it's not too long. We'll be doing and filming some more for you and sharing them with you shortly. But I wanted to thank Ben. It's great. We're gonna get a chance to get on the course and you know, play 18 now, and I get to have some, you know, awesome tips and distinctions and lessons myself from a master teacher here. So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll wrap up. Thanks again, Ben, for your time and sharing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So have an amazingly prosperous and blessed week, everybody, and we'll see you on our next case study. Take care.